Cathedral Waves. Cut this applique from colorful fabric using a hand-dyed hula hoop, or two when making this project. This is another twice as nice quilting project, and I'm Stacy Michell. In this package is a piece of fabric with a yellow center and a turquoise outside. We're going to use purple fabric for the background of our applique. Yep, that's applique, because this is another twice as nice technique. Now, our piece of fancy fabric that we've cut is going to look kind of like this. So the hula hoop fabric open is a square with a circle dyed in it. We're going to cut it very carefully. We'll be using a 6-inch grid for this project with a finished size of 5.5 inches. After cutting, the fabric arranges like this. I hope you want to watch this video all the way to the end, like it, love it, and share it. Remove the hand-dyed hula hoop from its plastic bag. It's going to need to be ironed. Then, apply Soft Fuse Premium to one side of the fabric. And then cut it. Cut it carefully. It's very important that you keep this project in order. Then, attach the paper pattern to 3 layers of fabric. You can pin or staple to secure the layers for cutting. I go back and forth between a couple of pairs of scissors, a little pair and a big pair. For the longer cuts, I use the long scissors. For the little cuts, I use the little scissors. Pretty easy, right? But I do like these really strong, sharp little scissors from Clover. Of course, we've got them on our website. Now here is the most important tip. Cut on the line. Cut exactly on the line and cut only on the line. This is how you get 2 appliques from one piece of fabric. We use both the even and the odd pieces. This is a little trick I do for perfect positioning using some product I call Grid It. It's just a gridded interfacing. I trace the design onto the Grid It and use it as a positioning guide. See how I'm getting them perfectly in place and looking through the Grid It to make sure. The Grid It is not heat sensitive. Like I said, it's just a gridded interfacing. So it doesn't melt when I iron it. It doesn't fuse. It's just this guide that I can use over and over. And that's great because I have to do this over and over. I've got 18 blocks to position. I use a stick-styled staple remover to get the staples out. On these smaller pieces, I do go to the back side first and pry it open, and then they just pluck right out. In this project, where we've cut on the line, exactly on the line, and only on the line, and we've cut from one piece of fabric, and we've cut in these layers, we're just kind of reassembling the fabric. Going through this process of using the colorful fabric and keeping everything so perfectly arranged, every piece that was originally a connected thread is getting returned to that same position. They become a puzzle that just fits together. You know when you've got all of the pieces in the right place. They just touch. Now that all 18 blocks are fused, let's put them out on the table and see how this is gonna look. One of the great things about twice as nice applique is that after you've done all of this fancy applique on it, it's just sewing together big squares. Really simple. Whereas if you had done this with paper piecing or curved patchwork, there's all these seam allowances and wonky squares and things that need to be trued up. But with twice as nice applique, it's just sewing together squares. Repeat the process with another hula hoop in the same color to make a larger project. To finish this kind of project, I choose a lovely thread called Miro that has such a short color change in its variegation, and then a decorative stitch on my sewing machine. On this small of a project, I do all of the edge stitching through the backing and batting, quilting it at the same time. You can buy hula hoops in our Etsy shop. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Here's a coupon code for you. Thank you, 20 off, all capital letters. So go visit our Etsy shop. The selection is always changing. we use it for our one-of-a-kind items, our hand-dyed fabrics, or odds and ends of soft views. By the way, odds and end cuts work great for this project. The background fabric requirements, you need a yard or two. Just pick something out of your stash. That's a great way to shop. Go look in your stash. What do you have 2 yards of in a pretty, almost solid fabric? Then go to my Etsy cart and pick out a hula hoop that would have good contrast. Now that you've watched all the way to the end, here's another way to arrange this project. I just love this. By making every other square just solid purple fabric, you get yet another interesting design. Now in this case, I'm only using the odd piece blocks, but you can make a second project using all of the even blocks. That was your twice as nice tip of the day. The pattern for Cathedral Waves is available in paper or as a download. But let me tell you, we print on nice paper, and the largest size of this design is 9 inches, and it doesn't fit on 8.5 by 11 inch paper. Our paper patterns are really nice, and they're worth buying. It comes with a small sample of gridded also. The pattern looks like this in our Etsy cart because this design was originally inspired by a batik line that I did for Hoffman. Now it's your turn. Go make something wonderful. I'm Stacy Michell. Thank you for watching.